Hey guys, Joe the Apple Guy back here. For those of you new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you hit like and subscribe so you get notified every time that I put out new content. For those of you returning, thank you so much for stopping by. I know it's been a hot minute since I put out some content, but with the day job going into the holidays, it's been extremely busy. Even been trying to do a AirPod episode with Jargo, and he's busy going into the holidays too. So in the new year, we'll explore that because we really want to do an episode just about AirPods and how they are arguably probably the best device that Apple makes. Going to be in the interim though, I'm going to be putting out a blog talking about that topic as well, but we'll still be doing a video version with him sometime in the new year, depending on what we can set up. Just wanted to hop on and let you know that I'm going to try and do some more content a bit more on the regular. I'm not going to make any promises, but I'm going to try and do a little bit more here for you guys because there's some cool stuff coming down the pipe with Apple products. So I just wanted to hop on and talk about some additions that I've made to the studio here. You might notice that things look a little bit different, kind of a different kind of camera angle here. I am keeping with the promise that all the content is being shot exclusively with Apple devices, and that is still very much the case. Everything's being edited on Apple devices. I am not using any third-party things to do any of this, which is pretty cool. I think I don't think there's too many people doing that. These things that I have in my ears are one of the big additions that I've made. Now, I still love the AirPods Max. You can actually see I still have the box in the corner there. Arguably still some of my favorite headphones, but they're not always the most portable and practical thing to use, like especially if I'm like commuting to work or whatnot. And so these are actually, and I have the box over here as well, is the AirPods Pro. Finally decided to pull the trigger on those, and they've been absolutely incredible. I don't want to get into too many details because like I said, that's an episode we're going to tackle with Jargo. The really cool things with it are, again, like being able to switch seamlessly between Apple devices, to go from listening to a podcast on my iPhone and then just sit down here and record an episode without having to do any kind of switching. Everything just comes over automatically. That's the beauty of the Apple ecosystem. But the features that you currently can take advantage of these and things that are coming down the pipe for it are pretty incredible. One of my favorite features with these, because I usually typically have the noise cancellation turned on, so that way I can concentrate, what I'm listening to, whether it be music, podcast, or what have you. What's really cool with these is that, say, if a person approaches me and starts to have a conversation, these things pick up on that and actually lower the volume down of what I'm listening to like a kind of like a sub level, so that I can then have that conversation with said person. And then once I stop talking, then the volume increases and goes back up. It actually turns the noise cancellation off as well, so that you can have that conversation. Then switches back once you're done having the conversation. That conversational awareness, they call it, is an absolutely great feature that I make use of quite a bit. Even if I'm like in a grocery store or something, and then somebody talks to me or I talk to somebody, and just lowers down and goes back up again. That's such a cool feature. The other cool thing that is not available yet here in Canada, I know our friends over in the US already have this feature with these, in particular the AirPods Pro second generation, is the hearing aid feature. This is going to be a really, really cool thing, especially when it becomes more widely and massively available to everybody outside of the United States, is you're going to be able to literally use these as hearing aids. So you can start off by doing a hearing test to see it. Actually, it's a clinical grade hearing test you can actually do and find out if you actually have any hearing loss. And then these will tailor make these into hearing aids for you to help enhance your hearing if you have a hearing loss, or if you're having hearing issues. Absolutely incredible. And that for people who are currently in the market for hearing aids, or have hearing problems and been looking into it, typically that the average hearing aid costs into like the thousands of dollars, and a lot of healthcare plans don't cover that kind of thing as well. So that would make these probably some of the most affordable hearing aids that you can get. That's going to make this a big, big deal in my personal opinion, because these, even outside the United States, we're talking a few $100 as opposed to thousands of dollars for real hearing aids. This is probably going to be a really good, affordable substitution for people. And the other thing too is they don't look like goofy, kind of strange hearing aids, which is why people are always so kind of reluctant to, when they find out that they need hearing aids and all of the cost. But there's that stigma with they look silly and ridiculous and whatnot, whereas you just look like you're wearing just regular headphones, right? So you have that to your advantage there, and I think that's going to be a really cool thing going forward, and I can't wait for that feature to come here to Canada because at the very least, someone who's listened to a lot of music and do a lot of video and audio editing will likely have a little bit of hearing loss, so it'd be nice to have a little bit of assistance with these. If nothing else, probably tinnitus, which is basically if you aren't really listening to anything and you kind of hear that kind of like it's almost like a not like a squealing, but like a high pitched, almost like a ringing noise. That's called tinnitus, which is basically kind of like mild hearing loss, and typically, like I said, is for people who listen to a lot of music, go to concerts, do a lot of editing, or listening to stuff at maybe some higher volumes and whatnot. You experience that, so that'd be cool to get some assistance kind of with that as well. The other thing is that the device that I'm shooting on here currently is a combination of two Apple devices, doing it different than I had been for a while. I've decided, you can probably see the box in the corner there, for those of you picking up on it, that is a box for the new Mac Pro with the M4 chip. That has become my primary computing device. Now, if you've been watching the channel, you know that I've done reviews for the iMac and the iPad. It was kind of bouncing back and forth between those two devices on the daily, depending on what I had to do. And that was kind of turning into a bit of an issue because I always found myself, it's like, okay, I want to do something, and then having to feel like I had to choose between two devices. Like, oh, and I want to watch an episode of 24 or something like that. And I go, okay, well, am I going to watch it on my iPad or am I going to watch it on the iMac? So I always found myself, depending on what I do, I was torn. It's like, okay, what am I going to... So it's like, then you're using one device and then one is just kind of sitting there. So essentially decided to just kind of like double down to this one device. And because it's so portable, I can use it like I would do certain things with the iPad, but then still be able to use it like a computer, like with an iMac. So it made perfect sense to switch over to just this one device. Now, the other cool thing that I'm starting to do too, you might notice that the video quality of the videos here is looking significantly better. I am actually using my iPhone 15 Plus and taking advantage of the continuity camera setting here, and it is propped over there. And nothing against the camera on the MacBook, which is actually improved significantly. The iPad, the camera on the iPhone is significantly better, and now I can make use of that to do these kind of recording, which is really, really cool. So, yeah, some cool stuff happening here. Like I said, doubling down on the devices and kind of go with more kind of like a minimalist approach. And I think it's actually going to work out for the better. And I think the content's going to look a lot better because of doing this as well. And I find myself now just to just use the MacBook, and instead of having to decide between multiple devices. And it's made things a lot more simpler, and I find it actually more productive, and I find that I use the device more because I'm not having to decide between several different things. So something people out there may want to consider, if you have a tablet and a computer and you find yourself kind of torn between using one or the other, it might be time to kind of explore a device like this, because there's never been a better time to be a MacBook owner and user, because these devices are damn impressive. Like, at one point yesterday I was using this thing, I think I had, just to kind of see what would happen, I literally had every single application that I have installed on this device running at the same time, and the fan didn't even turn on. That's exporting a video in Final Cut. I had some games open, I had several Safari and Chrome tabs open and other apps and games, and the fan doesn't even turn on this thing. It is damn impressive, and will do literally anything that you want it to do. So something to consider if you are in the market for a new laptop. That is a great option. All right, guys, that about wraps up here for this time. Stay tuned for more content coming up in the new year. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys in the new year. Have a good one.